Like I said, my name is Doreen. I'm a product designer. Yes. Is someone saying something?
Then you can carry on, please. No,
Okay.
no one
All
is saying
right.
anything.
Okay. All right. Thank you. I didn't prepare any slide for this because I wanted to come speak straight from my heart and from my own experience. Um, I've been working for a little over 4 years now. I started working in 2020, and I'll say I truly built my life from my. I started building my life from my late 20s. I graduated university at the age of 26. Yeah, 26. And I started my life at the age of 27. I got my first job. I started my first job as an executive assistant right immediately after the lockdown. So back in school, I used to tell my roommates, I studied agricultural education in Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria. So I didn't have any computer skills, but there's always a time that I chip in to my roommates or my friends that I want to learn computer skills. After school, I want to go learn computer. I always say, it wasn't about money or anything. I just don't know, but I always talk about me wanting to learn computer skills. Then I have this friend who is way older than I am. He should at that time he should be in his late 30s and he owned the company and he always call me to send me money. And I'll be so happy. And I ask, what do you do? He say, I'm in tech. I'm in tech. I'm traveling to Bauchi. I'm traveling to Gombe. I'm trying to build this, but build that. And I always pick interest, even though I didn't know what he was saying. But deep down inside of me, I wanted to learn computer because I believe that I can solve an agricultural problem with computer skills. What problem? I don't know, but I just know that I wanted to solve a problem in agriculture with my computer skills. That was my first contact of what tech was at that point, that time. And that was by way back to 2018 to 2019. After school, my last paper, November 2019, my dad sent me 10,000 naira, my last pocket money, because I was supposed to go back home in December. From that pocket money, I went and bought uh, Cisco Networking Academy form for CCNA 1, Certified Networking Associate. I bought that form and it was like scholarship for women, 5,000, the men paid 4,000, 10,000. I was so happy. This is a time for me to learn something, for less. And I got admitted to Cisco Networking Academy in Iya Abubakar in AB at that time. So that's why I started learning computer. But I didn't really even know what they were doing there, to be honest. I was just going, just freestyling. I'll go, they'll give assignments, I'll try, but I didn't really get what they're doing until January came, February came, and lockdown happened. Then I went back home and I had to be home. At home, I started following people on Twitter that were doing data science. When I picked interest, I want to learn data science. Someone recommended I go on solo learn on my phone. So I started learning data science on my own with solo learn. I didn't have a computer. I was just basically learning on my own. So it was difficult for me at that time. It was hard. And anybody I saw, I would always want to talk. Hey, I'm trying to learn something on this, but I don't know how to go about it. My then boyfriend was like, okay, I think we should find a way, like you should learn since you're really interested. But at the end of the day, I got a job. A friend called me and said, oh, we have an opening in my office. Can you come be my executive assistant? And you can guess who the person was. The same man that used to send me money back in school. And I always said, I want to learn something. I want to learn something. So he said there was an opening in their office. They are looking for an assistant. He didn't quite tell me my assistant, but he said he's going to give me the HR number and we'll have a conversation. So that's how I went through the interview stage. That's my first time of an actual interview. But I went through it, not thinking about anything, not trying to be the best, just going to answer questions. And then I got the job and I resumed as an executive assistant in September 2020. I'm going to tell you the truth. What, like the first month, I don't know what I was doing then. In fact, I used to send emails without subjects, with no subject. That's how much I didn't know what I was doing there. But one thing is that my boss knows that I want to learn, and he put me through everything that I needed to learn. He taught me how to send emails with subject, how to opening lines and then the closing lines, and I started doing. Even though I was just basically doing copy and paste, but along the line I had to figure out how to write my own email by myself. Um, I think fast forward to the second month in that job, my boss gave me a very difficult assignment. He said I should go and create a wireframe. Wireframe, I don't what does that even mean? What does a wireframe mean? But I did not ask my boss. Instead, I screenshot the message and I sent it to my now fiance that this is what my boss is asking me. So my now fiance now, who worked then at U lesson, pointed me, oh, ask Google. You can do this, you can do that. And that's how I checked Google and I said, oh, I can do it. Google said I can do Figma. I don't know what Figma. That was the first time I was learning about Figma, and then it led me to YouTube. That was how I followed through on YouTube and designed that wireframe, and I sent it to my boss. I was so happy with what I designed. It was a shabby work. It was not a good work, but I was so happy that I could see the result of something that I was doing with my own hands. I was so excited. Normally, you're not supposed to color your wireframe, but I colored mine and I showed my whole family. Oh, look at me! Very soon I'll start designing websites. I was just really proud of myself. But that particular thing changed my life forever. That was what led me to tech fully, and product design. You know, after that, I started paying for user experience courses on Coursera with my own money, and my boss noticed how committed I was and started giving me real work. So they would send me to design content. I got a job that I like a gig. My boss brought it a gig that I designed course content for Empower in 2021, and I got paid 100,000 there at that time. That was my first big money. I even designed. There's this I designed an application. It's an internal tool that we use to map out business in Niger State government in Niger State. So that's my first real job, my first real experience designing things. But my boss believed in the fact that I want to get things done. I really want to get things done. I always put in effort. Like people could see my drive. People could see it. And there's a training budget in my office. It's like paying for my courses. And as my colleagues saw my growth, they stopped assigning personal assistant tasks to me. They started giving me more field work. I began traveling. I began following my colleagues to meetings with IRS chairmen, with government officials, and even state governors. So way back as 2021. But I didn't really know. Like that time, I was just following them and just learning about the work. But I don't even know why I was there. But I was just happy to be there and to help in solving something. I will interview ad hoc staff. I began to manage our company's houses because if we have a contract with your state governor, your state government, we would get a house there, so we don't have to pay for hotels. So I started managing those houses. In 2022 January, I got my first tech gadget. My boss got it for me, my first MacBook and a phone. And I was basically getting paid to learn and practice in real time just because this or that I wanted to do something. There's something happened that I think changed my life forever. In I was still learning to design. I was not going to say that I was perfect at that time. I was just doing my best, showing up. And one of my friends, he works in Paystack, and he recommended me for a job in Paystack in December 2022. and I passed through the first stage. See, that was my first real-time interview for a big company. I went through the first stage and I passed. And I was so happy that the first stage, the lady that was interviewing me was like, I like the way you I like your mind. Passed the first stage, got to the second stage, passed the third stage, which was the last stage, and I got the rejection mail. And I cried. And they said, "Oh, if you have time, we can tell you, we can meet with you to tell you why you didn't make the cut." So they set a time and we had a meeting. They said, "We just needed two persons for this role, and we had lots of candidates. But you scaled through even to the last one, but we didn't go through with you because you don't have a fintech experience." I stopped crying because you didn't reject me because I don't know what I'm doing. You didn't reject me because I don't know how to design. You didn't reject me because I don't know how to explain the problem I'm solving. Just because I don't have a fintech experience. That experience changed my life forever. I became really confident in myself. Oh, I was crying before when I sent a friend a message, and my friend said, "You interviewed for Paystack just barely 1 year into taking product design courses, and you got to the last stage." I mean, they have all they would have cleaned your CV in the first place. You wouldn't have made the second call, but you got to the last stage and you're crying. You should be happy that you built skills that 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 got you to the last stage of Paystack. Um, in 2023, I applied for Kashim Ibrahim Fellowship. If you know what Kashim Ibrahim Fellowship is, a non-partisan fellowship organized by Kaduna State Governor Erufai, which he will just take you for a whole year and teach you leadership. I got in, and that one now sealed that one again for me with my colleagues. So I was not just building technical skill, I was gaining experience across governance and education because I basically educate taxpayers for a living. I study their behavior and I translate that into real solutions. So Kaduna State government, you have the skill that we need. Come, let us train you for leadership. I was very happy. That thing just also sealed everything for me, and I started working. That means I have something. I just need to keep working. I just need to keep working. So if you've been following my story, there are 11 lessons for wealth building in your 20s. Um, Number one is that you need to believe in yourself. Because if you don't believe in yourself, right, why should anyone believe in you? When you talk and you don't believe in yourself, people know. From your attitude, people know that this person is not sure about what they are saying. From your eyes, if you study psychology, from your eyes, people can tell that you believe in yourself, you believe in this thing you're saying. And then be curious. You know, Curiosity makes you try bold and crazy things. And that's where growth happens. If you're curious about the things you do, you keep going deeper and deeper and deeper. It's because I was curious about tech that I decided to go. I went from CCNA to data science. I didn't even tell you that I did front end engineering as well, and then product design. I found this and I stayed here. So you need to be curious. You need to be curious about all the things that concern all the things around you. You need to be curious and then be consistent. That's lesson number 3. Without consistency, there's no results. Somebody said something, and I don't remember the person exactly, but he said, in your career, right, when you get like the third year, that's how you know there's entry level, there's junior role, there's mid level, and then there's executive senior. In your first entry level, you're just there to learn. Your junior level, you're there to learn. So if you don't learn and know the integrity of the industry, how do you think they're going to succeed? So you need to be consistent, build expertise. Number 4 is that you should be resilient. James Clear says in Atomic Habits that resilience isn't about big moments. It's about the steady improvement. We like to talk about consistency, but I think resilience is that girl. Like resilience is that girl. Resilience is when you wake up today and say, I don't feel like doing it, but I will do it. You don't have to like skip things like 3 times in a row and it becomes a habit. When you skip today, tomorrow you say, I'm going to do it. That's being resilient. So you might not be consistent, but if you're resilient, then I think you're heading to success. Then also prioritize good work. Is Visibility is good, but quality is what keeps the door open for you. People need to see that you do work. Even if people see you, but you don't do quality work, nobody's going to call you. It's something that I keep telling people. Word of mouth takes you far, opens doors for you. When you work with somebody and you do quality work, when the person is not there, the person will go and check another person. Oh, this person did this thing for me and I like it. You better pass your portfolio. I'm sorry, I'm using broken, but you better pass your portfolio because you can show me your portfolio and so what? But when other people just talk about you in a way, somebody will even want to work with you. The fifth one is you transferable skills. And I hope you listen to this as much as you can because be a T-shaped professional. When I say T-shaped, the wide range, and then you have a deep expertise in one. That's where the world currently is right now. The world is not where this is not where like our parents just find one government job and they collect money. No, you need to build. You need to be a T-shaped. You need to have transferable skills that you can use it across industries. When tech industry is falling, you can transfer it to another industry. That's where the world is at right now. Then you need to talk about what you do. That's how you get motive and attract opportunity. No matter how good you are, if people don't see you, then you're just going to be there. In fact, even make impact. People need to see you. You need to talk about what you do. You need to put yourself out there. There's so much noise going on right now. The world of the era of social media, everybody's trying to put themselves out there. If you don't talk about yourself, you're going to be a local champion. I don't think that's what anybody wants for themselves right now. People are building skills, for global opportunities. And in your 20s, this is where you start laying the foundation. Another thing I want to emphasize on number 8 is that you need to be happy as the person. You know why? Because your mood just shows in your work. If you're a disorganized person, it shows in your work. If you're a happy person, you pay attention to details. The little things, they count. If you're a designer, you look at your typography, the hierarchy, whatever it is, you need to pay attention to details. Be happy. When you're happy, it transfers in your work. What attracts your clients to you is emotions, right? You sell emotions to your client. When your clients see your work, what emotion does it spark for them? So you need to be happy within you before you will be creative as well. Then I'm going to say this, but I think you should hold your God tight. Whatever you believe in, be committed to it. Uh, When you believe in something, I don't like people that don't believe in anything. Because why would you not believe in anything? Even if you're an atheist, that's good. Like you believe in something. Whatever you believe in, it works for you. Whatever you believe in works for you. So if you whatever you believe in, hold it tight. If you believe in hard work, hold it tight. If you believe in ease, hold it tight. If you believe in God, hold it tight. You should inspire what you do, inspire your work. Then number 10, and the final one is that this your 20s are for building the foundation of your life. You shouldn't just let it go. People your mates in other countries are starting family. People in other countries, let's say in Europe or America, I believe they are starting early. They start their life early. Children as young as, let's say, 15, 16, they already started working, saving money. Like in their 40s, they have so much in their bank account. So I feel like we're even left behind in Africa. And you see somebody, oh, I'm only in school. I'm not doing anything. Really? The world has changed past your certificate, your degree. People want to see your skills. What are you doing? Show off. We want to see it. Have a sense of agency. When I say a sense of agency, the ability for you to be your own person. Not when your boss assigns tasks to you. You just have an agency to do stuff. And that's what I've been doing all my life. I have agency to do stuff. I want to be this person. I want to be that person. I have multiple interests. I'm just learning to tame them, and I just focus on one. So you need to build a sense of agency as a person. So I want to just say this to drive all this what I'm saying home. The study shows that an average modern professional will spend over 90,000 hours at work over their lifetime. That's too much time to spend doing something you don't like. You know, I started designing my life before I became a digital designer. So you need to design your life before you will start picking what to do. While this is my own personal journey right now, it just mirrors what so many successful people have said that I've read, like Steve Jobs. He talk about the power of curiosity. Um, Elon Musk, who always emphasize on loving what you do. Countless people that I know attribute their ability to, you know, crazy believe in themselves. They're being to get things done. And right now, with the rise of AI, things are shifting really fast. The World Economic Forum, this is something I like to talk about. And if you need the report, after you can just send a message. I'm going to share the report with you. The World Economic Forum 2025 has a study that shows that over 92 million of our current jobs today will be wiped out by 2030. That's just 5 years from now. You know what? New ones amounting to 170 million will emerge. So when you're building your skill, when I say transfer your skill, also think about the skills for the future. When the era of AI, China is currently integrating AI into their curriculum. So the future is already here. This is the future. Everything, every mindset is a shift, and you need to also shift, with the global market. So you should build skills that span across industries and combine soft skills with technical skills. You should stay curious and stay learning and also stay visible. Thank you so much. I'll take your questions now.
Wow, wow, that is actually very deep and detailed. Thank you very much, Dereen, for that impactful session. At least what we'll be able to gather here today, we're going to, of course, replicate it in our lives. So thank you very much. Now, this is time for question. Now, I always advise people this, that when you are in a situation or in a training like this, it's important that you ask questions. Even if you don't have any question to ask, go and look for questions or something to ask about. It could be about how what skill is profitable for you to learn, what your challenges you are currently facing, and what advice you would like Devin to offer. And of course, your question must be around this particular topic for today. All right. So if you have question, now is the best time for you to ask question. You never can tell. You may ask a particular question, and then we'll be like, "Oh, I like this guy. Maybe this guy, I want to mentor this guy, or I want to mentor this lady, or what have you." So the floor is now open for questions. So now is the best time to show that, of course, everything Darren has talk about, it's something you would like to replicate in your life. Okay, so the floor is open for questions. Any questions? Any questions? Any question? Okay, we're waiting for questions. Okay, so I have a question actually. So okay, Moses, I have a question. Hi, Moses. Okay, Chisom.
All right. Good evening,
Okay,
everybody.
yeah,
Uh,
please go on.
yeah, thank you very much for this opportunity. Like I actually was following the class, and it's actually a strong one. I get to ask, these skill acquisitions and all of these things. Mhm. The point where you come that you needed to pitch yourself for maybe a potential client to hire you and all of those things, and then you have not really built your portfolio, like in a case like that. why not just calm down and then find a particular niche that you want to work on, and then build a portfolio. So is it not more advisable to have like to arrange yourself or start taking yourself out to.
Okay, I think what Moses is asking is you built your before you building your portfolio, is it that you need to learn a particular skill first before building your portfolio? Is that correct, Moses? Because you were breaking. Or Darren, did you understand the question?
Yes, yes, I understand the
No,
question.
no, no, no.
Okay, please
Um,
carry on.
yes, you're right. Okay, you're right. You need to build solid understanding with your field first before you are able to, become a tissue professional. Um, for building a portfolio, I tell you the truth, right? You don't have to wait until you're perfect before you build a portfolio. The thing that you don't know about recruiters is that they like to see your journey because they want to see your thought process. How do you solve problems? How far have you come? Nobody wants to see your polished work. People want to see your growth, your understanding of concepts, how you solve problems. Imagine if you start product design in January, then you have that shabby project and you posted. Then by ending to December, you have a very nice project and you posted it. Then you put that cutting your portfolio, we see your growth. It's not really people try to see, oh, somebody wants a perfect thing. Who else is perfect? Nobody is perfect. Try just building your life. Treat every project like this is your breakthrough project. Handle every project, no matter how it's my I'm just putting my leg, but it can be my breakthrough. This is my second project. It can be my breakthrough. So you don't have to wait till you're perfect before you have a portfolio. That's the mistake that so many people make. Just keep building your portfolio publicly. Whatever you're learning, post online. You don't have to be spamming engagement. You're just basically talking to yourself. Treat the social media or your portfolio like it's your diary. You, even you, even you yourself, to be proud of yourself. Anytime you go back and see your growth in your portfolio, that would be the thing that will motivate you to go further. So you don't have to be perfect for you to have a portfolio. Please build in public, design your life. Be growing. That's it. Just be growing. You don't have to be perfect because if you think that today's work is your perfect work, when next you do another one, it will be as if the previous one is not your perfect work. So please build, aim for growth, not perfection. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Darren. Just to add to what Darren said, right? When it comes to building your portfolio, right, there are several ways to it. You may be like, let's say, for example, you are learning UI UX, right? You don't have a portfolio, you haven't worked with any organization before, and all that. The best thing that you can actually do first off is to push what you've done. So, like, you probably have a dummy project you're working on. You just come on social media and post about it, talk about it, that, oh, you're learning this particular skill and this is how far you've gone with this skill. Or you look at a product that you think you want to replicate, right? And replicate that product and tell the public, because how many people eventually or even know what you do as a product designer or someone that is into web dev and all that, right? So first thing first, of course, I think you should push on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on Twitter about what you do. People should actually know that you're actually learning a skill. You have built something out of it. Maybe you have done a dummy project, and also seek for internships. I think that will also help as well. Victor, you raised your hand before, but your hand is down. Um, okay, let's go with Osaneye. Osineye, please. Oluwabukola.
All right. Good evening. Thank you very much, Miss Doreen. Thank you very much for that section. All right, please, can you hear me? Hey, please, can you hear me? I don't know if you can hear me.
Yeah, we can hear you.
All
Yes, we
right,
can hear
thank
you.
you.
Can hear you.
So, my question is just more like an advice. All right, so I'll be starting my IT soon, not my COS or anything like that. And I have some certain skills. So when I'm doing my IT, it's a very, very good organization and stuff. But how do you advise that I position myself? Because I have some skills that I'm learning or I've learned. How do you think I can position myself to be seen? That even beyond just doing my IT there, at least I also be able to contribute majorly. So the question is basically how do I position myself to be seen?
Okay. Thank you so much. Please, who asked this question?
Oluwabukola.
Okay. I wanted to call her by name. That's why. So you have to her. That's a very good question. Um, let me make an example with my house. My housemate just went for NYSC exam, and she before NYSC she graduated last year. She's been learning project management at school. I asked her to apply for HNG, then project management. So she was confused, like they are teaching her product management. I said yes. Project management and product management are almost the same thing. The difference is that product is like so you manage product. But when you're going for an NY, we have two options. It's either we go for an organization that are doing project management, that means they are not a tech company, but it can be under a project management team, or a tech company under product management stage. That's like a transparency. You can manage product or you can manage project. And for you, right, I also suggest the same thing. You should be intentional about your life. Don't do anything based on vibe. No, maybe this is early, you can do something based on vibe. But if we can keep 5 and go to 10, then we should. Your best bet is to look for an organization that requires the skills that you need and you can put it into it. Please go for it so that this is going to be your first experience. Because if you love the skills that you have, if you put it to use, I believe that you talk about it. So that's I hope I answered. Okay, my can you hear me?
We can hear you, Devin. Oluwabukola, did you understood everything Devin said?
Yes, yes, very well, ma'am.
All right, thank you very much. Yeah, Victor, your hand was raised before. I don't know if you're still available to ask a question. Hello, Victor. Okay. All right. So just to add to what okay, Chisom is available now. Hi Chisom, do you want to speak now?
Yes, okay. Good evening. Thank you, Miss
Okay.
Doreen, for that wonderful section. Okay, can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, we can hear you. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm currently an undergraduate at
Carry
University
on.
of
We can hear
Nigeria.
you.
Okay. I'm currently a student of University of Nigeria, and then I'm studying accountancy, but then I'm trying to find the same motivation, like the love I had for the course at the beginning time. And now I think I really, really want to work in the corporate world. That is where I'm aiming for. And I'm hearing of like we should get a skill and all that. One certain time I even learned copywriting, but it's like the skill is not in demand currently. And now the point of this, my whole question is how would I find the perfect skill to learn now? Even though I'm not currently looking for a job, I'm still studying. Yes, how would I find the perfect skill to learn? Hello, I don't know if you got the question.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you hear me? Okay. So for the complex skill, I think it's it begins with you, starts with you reading. What are you passionate about? Think about it doesn't have to be a technical skill. What do you love doing? What do you enjoy doing? That's it. Then look at, okay, let me recommend something. I recommend Ikigai. It's a book. You should read Ikigai because the DG of Cardinal recommended that to me in 2020. So I recommend it to you. Is just it's like a Japanese way of life. What do you love? What does the world need? And what can you do for free, even if you are not being paid? And then can you make money from it? So speaking of skills just have to be from within. What do you like doing? Where currently is the world? And what do you want to do long term? From here, you can just start picking small things to build something meaningful out of your life. It doesn't have to be a technical skill, whatever it is. If you find joy in it and there's a future, remember the future of work. AI is taking so many jobs and they're going to create new jobs. So it should align with where the world currently is right now. I hope I answer your question.
Okay, yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
So thank you very much, Dereen. I could tell that you're currently in the airport, trying to have a safe trip, right? So unfortunately, I won't allow Dereen to go now so that she can catch a flight. Now, just to add to what Dereen said, all right, Shison, when you started, you mentioned that you tried learning copywriting, but you kind of like found out that the industry is not in demand, all right, or the industry is not in demand. Now if you look at the career path of those that are looking at going into anything content marketing, because if you look at copywriting is under content marketing, so you want to see how you can forge a career under content marketing or forge a career in branding, right? Why do I say so? Right? You have a flow, you have an understanding of you have learned copywriting, which is under content marketing. Now, once you learn content marketing as a course, and you now dive into learning branding and communications or and branding and communications, that will also give you an head start, even if, of course, you are not ready to forge a career in that field, but you just want to learn them now. So you can dive into, like I said, content marketing, or even go into start with content marketing, social media marketing. That can actually give you an head start to understand where you want to go. I want to also advise young people is this, that most of the time we have this career roadblock. Like you have this, you want to do this, you want to do that, you want to do several things, and you are not just focused. All right. So one thing I would advise anybody to do is this, right? Try to get clarity much more earlier, because when you get clarity much more earlier on what you want to do, it makes you focus on one thing and learn that thing much more faster than when you are focused on everything. But if you're at that point where you are still having difficulty of finding what to focus on, you can simply try to put your hands in different things, but remember you have a goal to understand what is that specific thing that if you do, you will love it more than other things that you are trying to do. For example, for me personally, I have a skill in product designing, I have a skill in project management, I have a skill in digital marketing, I have a skill in graphics. I have several skills, right? But I had to focus on one particular niche and dive deep into it. All right. And it has served me well. Now, the other skills and I have is not like an add-on to the main skill that I actually have. So just identify in this content, what do you call it? Copywriting thing that I actually want to go into. What is the next career path that is actually or currently in demand? And that is content marketing. Content marketing goes beyond just writing content for social media or goes beyond writing content for or what have you. It goes beyond that. See, there are organizations that are actually looking for content marketers. All right. Content marketer is not about even the write-up. Content marketer can be how you tell a company's story. So film industries are need content marketers. All right. banks need content marketers. If you see banks like or UBA, for example, if they want to push out a campaign, they need content marketers that can actually come up with a nice word. For example, look at MTN, for example. MTN is known as everywhere you go. Like look at Indomie, for example, which is noodles, for example. So if you look at what is their catchword, those are catchphrase. Those things organizations need that. So if you are able to build on that particular thing where you can say something and that thing you say can move people to want to take action, then you are good to go. The next thing is now identify organizations that are willing to employ your skill, but they won't know you have that skill until you start communicating that you have that skill online. So you need to start doing that, keep on communicating that skill. So thank you very much, Dereen, for your time. We want to let you go so you can focus on your flight. So we can't thank you enough for taking time out of your busy schedule to attend to us, to talk to us, to encourage us. And I believe from this day and what everything you have communicated is going to be replicated in our life. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
Yes. So yeah. So just to move on with the session, right? Our next session is coming up by 6 p.m. and trust me, it's going to be a very, very huge one. And I want you all to actually join, right? For you all to actually join this session because it's more about monetizing your skill. For those that have a skill, for example, Chisom that mentioned that she learns what was it called, content, which is copywriting. How do you monetize those skills that you have? For those that have designing skills, how do you monetize your designing skill? For those that have, maybe you have a knowledge that people need, how do you monetize it? So from skills to the bank, how to monetize what you know. And this session we are having Bolu Asafe Raji, who is going to be the speaker, and trust me, it's going to be a massive one. Now, just to mention again is that Career Leap will currently have a scholarship through our Leap School program, right? Which is Tech Accelerator program, where you get to learn skills on in our School of Digital Technology, our School of Product Design, our School of Software, and our School of Data, and our School of Commerce as well. Right? If you are here today and you want to access this scholarship, kindly reach out to the admin in our communities, and they are definitely going to give you guidance on how to actually get started. We only have 100 slots available, so you want to take charge. Now, the catch point of this training is the fact that you get to be paired to mentors, because we've seen situations where individuals go to other people go to that other training institute, and when they get trained, they don't get job opportunities, and they are mostly half-baked. You see someone going to learn cybersecurity for just 3 months. What are you going to do with cybersecurity for just 3 months? Cybersecurity is a course you are meant to learn for 9 months. You see courses like data analytics, business analytics. Those are robust courses that you need to actually learn and be good at it. And one thing about us is the fact that we don't want half-baked people, because when we are giving jobs, opportunities, or internship, we want someone that we can actually vouch for, because we have employers from the UK, from the US, that are ready to employ people that are actually good in this. So that's why we are having this training. We are training people, and this is very affordable because it's scholarship. It's very affordable, so you don't get to pay 500,000 naira, 200,000 naira, 1 million naira to access the scholarship, right? You are practically paying about 99.9%. I mean, the scholarship covers 99.9% of your total expenses, which is of course 10,000 naira for the duration of the training. So if you're going for software engineering, which is 9 months, right, you get to pay 10,000 naira for the next 9 months. That's per month, right? That's like 90,000 naira, and you're practically learning this and learning it effectively and learning it well. If you're going for a digital marketing course, you're going for a business analytics course, same thing. Now, the course you are going for, each course, of course, have their own duration. We have courses of 3 months, we have courses of 6 months, we have courses of 9 months. And during this period, like I said, we're going to be giving internship during the course of the training. And after the training, we're going to be giving internship and job opportunities. If you have a product idea, you're going to join our scale-up idea launchpad community, where we get to like look at your ideas and see how we can actually make it something investment worthy. All right, there are several things you're going to get from the scholarship program or the TAP accelerator program. All right, so reach out to any of our representative on our community, and then they will get in touch with you. All right, so thank you very much, everyone, and we can't wait to see you in the next session by 6 p.m. Please set your calendar, set your time, and let's make magic. Thank you very much. Have a great evening. See you. Bye-bye.